Hey Zoey, so thanks for sending the analysis. Let me do this from my side and see what conclusions do we have, and if I can add something to your analysis, and if you want, you can then replicate in the next one. So I kind of divided this context list on analysis section and execution. So analysis is when you're thinking about the context while analyzing like every time frame and so on, but then execution is more about the timing and so on. So you will see I will go through every point now. So first of all, multi-time frame analysis and relation between multi-time frame structure, zones, and what and how the market did before. So let's go on the yearly. And what we have here is just a bullish market that created one break here with a really nice and clear unmitigated zone below. So based on some other points and other points, they say where we are. So is it absorption? Is it a break? So just broke any high. And so we just realized that we broke monthly high, and now yes, we can go, but we also have some possibilities for a pullback. So monthly is like 50-50 right now, but we just need to acknowledge this detail, yeah, that we are after the break and not, for instance, after the break and pullback, because if because this bullishness, yes, we are bullish here, but kind of expecting the pullback. But here we are also bullish, but now like we are 75% bullish because we realize that we are here and this is the place to go. So let's just acknowledge this detail. Now let's go to monthly. So on monthly we have more relation to work with. Of course we can just say that we broke this high on monthly, which is basically the same as on yearly, and that's all, and that it's just a bullish one, but we can add more details to it. So first of all, the pullback already started, so we have a clear high, clear target on monthly. So definitely we realize that there will be some inside structure. What we have here is probably some zone, maybe on 2 weeks or anything, and we are showing the reaction out of it. So but we still have some space to move down, of course, because this zone is basically the same as on monthly and on yearly. We can maybe make some refinements here, but I will not do it. As for relation between the time frames, what can we say is that we had a clear bearish trend and then shifted to the bullish side with 2 shifts, and basically, yeah, like 1, 2. So actually, okay, so just established, we really have established bullish move. So if you imagine that this move was happening like here, so like this move, so these are as well a bit different situations, because this is not so bullish as this, because this came after established bullish trend, and not only that, we also didn't break immediately after like this. So we performed a lot of reaccumulation here. So yeah, these details make this this range like really bullish for me. And again, it's not only important to discuss this, so we can skip all these higher time frame things at all, because we actually don't use it in a way, if you know, of course, because it's just too big, too far away, and we just orient ourselves for lower time frame action and supportive biases. But this could easily be a 4-hour chart. So if we want to be better at analysis and to notice some details, then we can like talk through the stories of the market. Okay, so basically that's my monthly, and let me see what we have: the quality of structures and counter trend structure. So basically we have pretty high quality impulse. However, it's a bit overextended, of course, in my eyes, relative to all the other impulses. And that's why I think we can more likely to start build more inside structure, more consolidations, and deeper pullbacks. As for clusters, so basically we talked through some of these overextensions, space to move. So we have the space to move, by the way, like to the bullish side, to the bearish side. And as for clusters, we didn't have a cluster here, but we have this chain here. So we mitigated, and so we created a zone and then mitigated it and went here. So it's possible that we will create at least this cluster, so a bigger zone, or even deeper. Now let's go to weekly, and on weekly I think it makes sense to focus our attention somewhere here. And what can we notice from weekly? So first of all, we were moving in a relatively overextended trend, and now we shifted bearish. We shifted bearish only once on weekly, coming with this big bearish move. And what's interesting about this all is that here specifically we are moving in this pattern. So like this and like this. So like this, and like this. So as you can see, it's our really classical reaccumulation pattern on weekly, coming back, liquidating this low and into this really clear zone. And not only that, we even showed some reaction here. So basically this is the main difference between what you told. And you told that on daily we are moving in this bearish range and performing redistribution. Yes, we definitely are. However, if we connect with the weekly bias, with the weekly structure, it's like 50-50. So yes, this can be a redistribution definitely, but the same way it can be a bullish sign. And now we need to see what we have on daily, and now we need to use so first of all we need to keep these scenarios in mind. So our main scenario from the weekly is this, and it's still supported by the monthly, by the way. And our second scenario, of course, from lower time frame, is that it will be a redistribution. Now we need to go even lower and find our supportive biases for these stories. From the standpoint of clusters, of course, we need to recognize that we had some clusters here, but then we have this basically a void, and then we have a cluster and one more. But in isolation, this is a really bullish sign from the weekly. Also, the quality of breaks is not that bad. Zones are clean. What we have here, space to move is like huge. So this zone on weekly is really, really huge. We are not absorbing everything. We basically reacting from a zone. Now let's look at daily, and again, yes, this is bearish trend, local bearish trend with redistribution, which I will look a bit into detail soon. However, we need to also understand that first of all, it's all coming back into this weekly zone, and also what it can be not only trend and redistribution, but also it can be just like longer reaccumulation from all these bullish trend. So we have bullish trend and reaccumulation, bullish trend, reaccumulation, and yeah, basically that's it what we have here. Maybe we had reaccumulation here, and now it's just a longer reaccumulation. And why I also think that bullishness is possible from here is that this break. So if we see this, we have this structure, and then protected high. Yeah, and then protected high, which was broke right now. But by the way, for the bearishness, we have these clusters, like real nice clusters. And now, yes, it can be a redistribution. And let's look what we have on specifically immediate structure on daily. So we just have this break, and technically we are in this average quality impulse, and that's it. So let me check 2 days. Yeah, but on 2 days, of course, we are bullish from the weekly zone and breaking some 2 days highs, and just mitigated this zone on 2 days, some refined part of it. So for me, this weekly 2 days and 3 days, and again, this sign is for me more bullish kind of, because we are acting from weekly. But even if we consider, so again, it's not like 90 for 10%, it's like 55 for 45%. If we see this as a bearish sign, then we need to add these details, that we broke the low and now we are quite low in a range itself. So we are not here, for example, yeah, and we still can expect some bullishness to that side. And now let's go to 4 hours. And by the way, you see how similar the patterns are on daily in 4 hours. Yeah, it's interesting. But so you see, I'm just talking about the market from a bit different perspective, so from a bullish perspective. So this is what you can do. So you told from more bearish perspective, I told it through more bullish perspective. Now we can go and use these lower time frames for supportive biases. And again, yes, this could be a redistribution, of course, on 4 hours, but for me it's supported by this weekly 2-day zone. And because of this, so we have bullish shift 1, bullish shift 2, bullish shift 3. Basically that's all. So we have this, and now so we have a break, a break, a break, and now coming back with this counter structure to this bullish one. So maybe on 8 hours, something like that. So on 8 hours, we actually have this shift and coming back into the zone. So you see how we can build more bullish bias to this. And to be honest, I will stay more bullish until we break this weekly, okay? Because of the reasons I described. But again, is bearishness not possible? So your bearishness that you described is very possible because of the reason is that you were acting, so I'm kind of lost in this price action a bit on lower time frames, but what you were describing is basically, if I remember correctly, like this one and something here, so immediate go from here. And yes, it's possible. So basically lower time frames are not in perfect alignment with my bullish outlook from higher time frames. And of course, then when you, but let me go to your video. So here, even if you see it as bearishness, I would probably not use this zone because we are already after a break. And yeah, it's looking a bit relatively overextended. So I would better expect this just to be rangy and then create one more clear shift, or just wait for this pullback. And then when you are actually executing, don't forget to have this, are you moving straight from the zone? Straight from the zone, already moved away some distance, but not too much. So moving away just to see you that you are moving away from the zone. Don't forget about specific times of the session. Ask yourself, was there too much movement during this specific day? And other questions you see here. Okay, and as a conclusion, I would say that my main zone would be this 8-hour zone, which is, in my eyes, in compliance with 2 days, 3 days. And again, yes, this can be a redistribution, but because of higher time frames, I'm more likely to see it as a reaccumulation. Basically, what I will do is wait for this break to this zone, and then wait, and then try to enter some confirmation here. Okay. Yeah, hope it was useful. Let's do one more analysis, and you can use this question to guide you a bit more on this.